What they didn't tell you about as above, so below. The world has always used unique and miraculous methods to maintain its own balance. So, have you ever thought that reality can be shaped? Is there a universal law that, when applied correctly, can completely change reality in our favor? Today, let us explore the depths of this universal law. As above, so below, as without, so within. This ancient Hermetic truth expressed in the words of the Emerald Tablet invites us to look beyond appearances to perceive that the microcosm and the macrocosm are not separate entities but two faces of the same universal reality. This law is known as the principle of correspondence, which states that reality in all its dimensions is structured fractally. This Hermetic principle suggests that everything in the universe is interconnected and that every small fragment of the whole reflects the whole. For example, the cells in our body carry the same genetic code that constitutes the entire organism, and each cell, in a way, is a microcosm of the body. Similarly, the movement of galaxies resembles the movement of atoms and electrons in their nuclei, showing that the universal laws are the same, whether on astronomical or subatomic scales. The law of correspondence teaches us to see the universe as a great mirror. If you want to understand reality, first observe yourself, just as the macrocosm affects the microcosm. Our internal state influences the world around us, and here we find a powerful key. By transforming what is within, we also transform what is outside from a spiritual perspective. As above, so below leads us to a deep understanding of the unity of everything. Jesus, in his wisdom, said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Just as the universe contains within itself the potential for everything, the human being in its inner microcosm contains the seed of the divine. The human mind is simultaneously an observer and a product of the universe. Just as the entire cosmos expresses itself in every atom, the human being is a reflection of the totality of the universe. As Hermetic philosophy states, each person is a microcosm, a small universe that, as it expands, reaches and harmonizes with the greater universe. This reveals the power and responsibility of taking care of one's own mind, thoughts, and emotions. By doing so, we also take care of what is outside of us. The philosopher Plotinus asserted that the more a person understands themselves, the more they understand the universe and what lies beyond it. This idea echoes the Hermetic principle that to understand the cosmos, we must first explore the universe that exists within us. Spiritual philosophy teaches that our internal state, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, acts as a lens that shapes how we perceive the external world. If we are at peace, we will see the world with peace. If we are in conflict, the world around us seems hostile and disharmonious. This understanding reveals that the barriers we perceive between ourselves and others, or between humans and the universe, are illusory. In reality, we are part of a greater whole, and what happens inside us is in constant interaction with what happens outside. Therefore, by transforming our inner universe, we adjust our relationship with the outer universe. For mystics, understanding as above, so below means recognizing that everything that exists in the cosmos also exists in potential within us. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist and scholar of symbolism, cited in almost every video on this channel, explained that the personal unconscious of human beings is a reflection of the collective unconscious, a reservoir of images, ideas, and archetypes that shape how we experience life. Just as the cosmos is in constant movement and transformation, the inner universe of each human being is dynamic and pulsating. By exploring this inner universe, individuals not only discover aspects of themselves, but also connect with archetypal forces and universal truths that are part of the entire cosmos. Therefore, the spiritual journey is a journey back to this universal center that exists within us. Just as the principle of as above, so below affirms the correspondence between the macrocosm and the microcosm, it also suggests an integration between spirit and matter, between being and doing, between the internal and the external. Paracelsus, one of the great alchemists and philosophers of nature, said that understanding oneself is the first step toward understanding all things. For alchemists, the ultimate goal of self-knowledge is union with the whole. By transforming our inner lead, fears, doubts, limitations into gold, wisdom, peace, self-mastery, we align with the divine flow of the universe. It is the alchemical process of harmonizing what is above with what is below, and of seeing matter and spirit as one. The duality of spirit versus matter. The principle of correspondence invites us to perceive the universe as a series of layers and realities that reflect one another. It suggests that there is a close relationship between different realms of existence, and what occurs at one level of reality has reflections, parallels, or resonances at other levels. In the context of the opposition between spirit and matter, the Second Hermetic Law reveals that spirit and matter, although they may appear to be opposites, are actually reflections of the same essential reality. The material world that we experience is a reflection of the forces, ideas, and laws that operate in the spiritual realm, such that matter acts as a shadow or manifestation of the laws and subtle energies of spirit. According to the principle of correspondence, spirit is the primordial realm or the realm of cause, where all ideas and energies originate. Matter, therefore, is a reflection of this source formed according to the laws and invisible patterns of spirit. Think of spirit as the source and matter as the image projected by this source. Matter exists only as a function of the presence and movement of this latent spiritual energy. Thus, the tangible world is shaped by the invisible forces of the spiritual realm, much like a statue is sculpted from an idea. Similarly, any transformation or change we wish to see in matter begins first and foremost in the spiritual realm, whether through intention, vision, or mindset. An example to understand this relationship lies in nature itself. Consider DNA, an invisible structure to the naked eye but containing all the necessary information to create a complex physical organism. The relationship between DNA and the physical body is a reflection of the correspondence between spirit as the source of information and energy, and matter as the manifestation of this nature. By aligning our minds and intentions with spiritual laws, we can influence and shape matter according to our desires. However, this does not mean controlling or manipulating the material reality, but rather a process of alignment. When we understand that matter is merely the densification of spirit, we realize that profound transformations occur when we act directly on the spiritual realm, at the level of our intentions, thoughts, and beliefs. For example, a person desiring prosperity may understand that this abundance begins in spirit, through a mindset that fosters beliefs about self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. By nurturing these spiritual and psychological patterns, reflections in the material world will surely manifest, even if in gradual and subtle ways. Life is a constant dance between spirit and matter, where the goal is not to deny one in favor of the other, but to recognize and harmonize both. True alchemy, therefore, lies in integrating the spiritual world with material life. It recognizes that each aspect of our physical existence has a spiritual reflection, and that each spiritual experience can be lived in the material world. This means that the search for meaning and purpose, often associated with the spiritual plane, needs to have practical expression in our daily lives. When we nurture the spirit through practices of self-awareness, such as meditation and introspection, we are simultaneously building a stronger foundation for a fulfilling, harmonious, and meaningful material life. Ultimately, the principle of correspondence reminds us that the duality between spirit and matter is, at its core, merely an illusion created by our limited perception. Both are expressions of the same universal truth, just as light, when passing through a prism, disperses into various colors. Spirit manifests in matter without losing its original essence. This understanding grants us profound spiritual freedom as we recognize that by fully living on the material plane and honoring physical life, we are also expressing the spirit. The purpose of our spiritual journey, therefore, is not to escape matter, but to transcend it, viewing it as a reflection of spirit in motion. Example of the principle of correspondence in natural phenomena. The Hermetic maxim, as above, so below, transcends philosophical symbolism, manifesting as an observable principle in nature. This concept highlights the correspondence between microcosmic and macrocosmic patterns, showing that structures and processes visible on a small scale often repeat on much larger ones. An outstanding example of this is fractal geometry, where shapes replicate across different scales. The nautilus shell spiral, for instance, mirrors the spiral of galaxies, both following the Fibonacci sequence, a prime example of sacred geometry, which dictates the structures in our universe, from atomic arrangements to cosmic formations. In nature, we see this mirrored organization in cycles: birth, growth, death, and renewal. Just as seasonal cycles turn continuously, living beings undergo cycles of life. In the human body, the circulatory system mirrors Earth's hydrological system, with rivers nourishing the land as blood nourishes cells, embodying the as above, so below principle. Both systems follow patterns of flow and return, suggesting that the macrocosm of Earth and the microcosm of the human body share foundational intelligence. This correspondence extends to the rhythms of cellular activity and planetary movements. For instance, sleep and wake cycles parallel day and night rotations, indicating that universal principles shape both cellular and cosmic phenomena. Furthermore, the atomic structure, with a nucleus orbited by electrons, resembles a solar system with planets orbiting a sun. This resemblance suggests a holographic quality in the universe, where each small part reflects the whole. Pythagoras believed that numbers underlie all things, indicating that reality is governed by mathematical and geometric laws applicable at every scale, from particles to galaxies. This notion of interconnectedness resonates with David Bohm's concept of an indivisible totality. Bohm, a physicist and collaborator of Einstein, proposed that reality is not fragmented but unified, with each part reflecting a larger whole, much like a hologram. Benoit Mandelbrot's discovery of fractals further unearthed this. Fractals demonstrate a repeated pattern across all scales, offering a framework to see the as above, so below principle as more than metaphor. Through this fractal perspective, we see each small part as a miniature version of the universe, showcasing an ordered reality where microcosm and macrocosm perpetually mirror each other. Practical applications in people's lives. The law of correspondence teaches us that our external world, our results, health, and appearance, mirrors our internal state. Our beliefs, intentions, and especially our daily habits reflect our inner mindset, gradually shaping our visible reality. Like a stone creating ripples in a lake, our consistent actions and thoughts resonate through our bodies and lives. In this way, every area of our life manifests what we nurture within. A disciplined, purposeful mind fosters healthy, consistent habits. People with mental clarity and dedication often reflect this inner order through regular routines, exercise, and self-care, resulting in balanced, resilient bodies. Conversely, a mind lacking organization and discipline often falls prey to distractions and poor habits, manifesting in physical signs like fatigue and health issues. Without internal discipline, we tend to seek immediate comforts, processed foods, inactivity, disrupted sleep, that may provide short-term satisfaction but lead to long-term deterioration. As Aristotle wisely said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Every small, consistent action, whether self-care, learning, or exercise, plants seeds for future abundance. Transformations, whether physical or mental, often seem sudden from the outside. Yet, they are the result of accumulated small acts done with intention and consistency. A habit as simple as drinking more water daily can, over time, visibly improve one's energy and skin. This demonstrates the principle of correspondence. Small internal changes manifest into profound external shifts. True transformation, whether in body, health, or relationships, begins internally. By cultivating a mindset of discipline, self-care, and love, our habits align with these values, and our external reality gradually reshapes to reflect this inner transformation. Those with clarity and purpose develop habits that sustain them, manifesting as a strong body, clear mind, and organized life. A reflection of a soul that has found its purpose and expresses it through daily action. When we understand the principle of correspondence, we gain a practical guide for aligning our inner and outer worlds, fostering emotional balance, clarity, and well-being. Just as the universe moves in cycles and harmony, we too must seek this balance within. Life, like a melody, resonates in harmony, and each of us is a note that contributes to this cosmic song. Our thoughts, beliefs, and habits are the invisible threads weaving the fabric of our reality. The law of correspondence reminds us that we are the creators of our existence. Our consciousness is the clay, and our actions the chisel. Like a mirror reflecting the night sky over a calm lake, life responds to what we emanate from within. If we seek peace, we must cultivate serenity. If we desire strength, nurture it with discipline. If we wish for love, let it bloom within us like an eternal flame. Remember, what we create within, the world reflects back to us. As above, so below. As within, so without. Let each choice be an intentional prayer, echoing into eternity and revealing our highest self. Thank you all for joining. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Let me know any future videos you'd like me to make in the comments. Thank you all and have an amazing day.